Women of Reddit, what's an unspoken rule similar to how men don't use the urinal right next to another dude? What's mine is yours when it comes to feminine products? If a stranger needs a pad or tampon and you have one, you share. I always keep feminine hygiene products and a leave on hand, even when I'm not on my period, just in case someone needs something. If you lend out your extra hair tea, you're never going to see it again. That said, you always lend your extra hair tea to a woman in need. That's true sisterhood. True, the flow of hair teas guarantees that for every hair tea given, another will be borrowed. If there is something about the way someone looks that can be fixed within 5 minutes, something in the teeth, ruffled hair, whatever, say so. Otherwise shut the F up and let people look the way they want to. Like seriously, please freaking tell me that my fly is open, I have something in my teeth, my hair is off, I have a booger hanging, etc. Always tuck the tag of their shirt in for them. Fix the clasp on their necklace if it's showing, or tell them, because personal space, and God forbid if they have that spot on their clothes, you take them right to the nearest restroom and help them out. Okay, but warn people before tucking in their tags. Little tickles on the back of my neck freak me out. Long story involving a spider and a hair towel. And when people tuck my tag without warning, I'm liable to spaz out. If you're dropping your gal pal off at home and it is dark, always stay and make sure she gets inside before you drive off. If you're out at night, either walk each other to the car or watch and make sure you're both in the car with lights running before driving off. And you always tell your friend to text you when they get home safe. When we notice someone has been in the bathroom before us and they are not done, the toilet hadn't flushed the entire time you've been in there too, they need to poop and you've got to get out in order for it to be successful. The fast pee and wash. Everyone in our office recognizes when the OG in the stall needs some alone time. If someone looks like they're in an uncomfortable situation, a creepy guy is hitting on them at the bar, you immediately become their friend and stay with them until you're sure they're okay. Had this happen yesterday at our local science museum, when there is a lone toddler wandering around next to you, and a woman a distance away running her butt off to get to where you were standing. Keep the toddler nearby until the mom gets there. Some kids are sprinters and the mom is just trying to keep up. My goodness, thank you for this. My BF and I receive judgmental looks all the time, but we've got toddler twins and those suckers move fast. I think most parents are just flying by the seat of their pants, so a little parental camaraderie, or human compassion, is so welcome. If there's an overly drunk girl in the bathroom, you take care of her. If her friends are with her, ask if you can do anything to help. The more I read these replies, the more I realize we are really great human beings and those rules should be applied to anyone and anything in this world. If some girl you don't know is being hit on by a guy and obviously uncomfortable, go talk to her like you're old friends and pull her away. I've done this before and trust me, her friends will thank you if they show up later. Be a good person and step up if someone is in trouble. If you see a dude talking to a woman and she looks uncomfortable, you immediately pretend you know her. If she plays along with "I haven't seen you in months" or whatever lead in you use, you stay with her until the guy goes away. I end up using this one the most at the gym, oddly enough. If there is one lady totally silent in the stall next to you, she is waiting to take a giant dump, leave quickly. If you're a real pal, hit the loud butt hand dryer on your way out. That also applies for men, but you wanna leave for different reasons. Don't sit in the stall directly next to another woman unless no other option is viable. Also, as mentioned, what's mine is yours. I believe this applies to hair ties and tampons as mentioned, but also condoms. That stall thing applies to anyone really. Also, if there are 3 stalls, don't take the middle one. And I'd only take condoms from people who I really trust. And maybe not even them. You can't be too safe with that. If you see an overly drunk girl, ask who her friends are. If they're there, bring her to them. If she's alone, stick by her side and find out how to get her home. When someone is having a weird, creepy, or inappropriate interaction she can't exit and you can't enter, make eye contact and let her know she's not crazy or alone. When someone's skirt is riding up or tucked into their tights, tell her quietly. If someone is having drinks forced on her, Accidentally knock over the roofie cocktail from a stranger. Give hard cheers that spill her shot. Slip a bucket or some other receptacle near her so she can pour out. And if you're serving drinks, pass her non-alcoholic Fakis. If a woman is having trouble with an overbearing guy, and she clearly looks like she is in distress over it, so like, she looks uncomfortable or is trying to shrink away rather than flirt or fight back, then you step in and help her, either by scaring off the guy, or sticking to her like glue and having buddy chat time until the guy gets the hint and goes away. If you see a girl throwing up in the bar bathroom and she doesn't have anyone comforting her, you and your friends go check on her and find her friends. And hold her hair. It's sad the majority of these responses are about taking care of other women and rescuing them from creepy situation or unwanted attention rather than basic or whimsical everyday stuff. Don't flush feminine hygiene products down the toilet. I don't understand why some people think this is okay. Stop. My workplace told us to do this, at least with tampons. BC it was gross that we were leaving them in the trash cans. If you're in a public washroom and she turns on the hand dryer before going to pee, you keep the dryer going while you're there to ensure comfort. This thread just makes me happy that I'm a lady and have been on the receiving and giving side of most of these suggestions. Yay for supportive women. The true sisterhood. When you exit a bathroom stall that didn't have any more toilet paper, you let the next girl in line know and offer her some of the tissues you carry in your bag. If you are somewhere, usually a bathroom, and a woman asks you to check them you do, she will then turn around and you look at her butt to see if she bled through. I've had strangers do this to me and I've done this to strangers. Go to look out for each other. Amongst friends, hair clips are communal. If you need to put your hair up and your friends got one and can give it to you, they will. Also there are many friends that tend to share deodorant. It doesn't matter if it's stick or spray. Asked my wife this question and she said, if you are shopping and you see another woman looking at something, say a blouse on a rack of clothes, you don't get too close. Give her some space and don't hover. This one is among my girlfriends, so I don't know how prevalent it is among most females, but if we are in a group and one of us sees a hot guy that she is interested in, then that guy is sort of reserved for her, meaning, none of us can go and flirt with him or attract his attention while the connection is developing between him and the first girl that saw him. I learned this rule kind of late a little bit and sometimes it can be broken if the guy expresses interest in another girl or the first girl finds him later to be unattractive, releasing him back into the pool. It's not set in stone, but it is unspoken and I think it kind of has to do with some level of insecurity that the guy's attention would be whisked away by another girl. That still exists with women, even with stalls. If you can, you try not to use a stall next to another one that is already occupied. Amusingly, I have a friend that worked in customer service at a railroad in NYC. They got an actual complaint letter from a woman who was clearly offended that someone used a stall next to her in Grand Central Terminal. I politely let Muslim women know if their hair is sticking out of their headscarf, hijab. I don't know the formal names. Most don't care, but my friend whispered in her mom's ear that her hair was sticking out once and she tucked it in and then rushed to the bathroom to check it. So I'll let them know now in case it does bother them. Not if they're wearing the style I've seen more recently where there's a bunch of hair showing. I don't think it matters to them. But if they have most of it covered and a little is sticking out, I just softly say, hey, I'm not sure if you're bothered by this, but you have a little hair sticking out, and motion to the place on my head where it's peeking out. Grade 7 science teacher wore a hijab. Asked me once when it had been raining if her hijab was see-through. No miss. You can see that your hair is a dark color, but you can't actually see it. She looked so relieved. Added that to my rule book. There are two types of women. Those who poop as silently and stealthily as possible in the bathroom stall and those who let it rip and don't give a frick. Either way, we always pretend nothing happened. If it's nighttime and a woman is walking ahead of me a bit, I'll politely clear my throat so she hears that I'm another woman. There's nothing worse than men walking quickly and quietly behind you. If a woman compliments a specific clothing item that you are wearing, you tell her where you got it, the designer, how long ago, and sometimes the price. If she's washing blood off her hands at the public bathroom sink, you assume it's her period and give her privacy and don't judge. Wipe front to back. I wish someone told me this earlier. I assume my mom told me as a toddler and I promptly forgot for the next 20 years. Nothing to add here, but I would like to say I've learned more about women from women of Reddit posts than I have from 44 years of life. If you see a woman alone out somewhere and it looks like she's being bothered by someone, you walk up, say I'm so sorry I'm late and immediately begin a conversation, ignoring the botherer unless you have to. This works for women in bars being hit on against their will, women being catcalled, women getting harassed for what they're wearing, short skirt, hijab etc. Or if a woman walks up to you in a public place and says I've been looking for you for 20 minutes now or anything along those lines. Even if you don't know her you act like you do. She's probably trying to get away from a guy. All these women in here talking about nice things they do for one another when the question is supposed to evoke something catty. When you need to poop but you're not the only one in the ladies' bathroom, you must poop silently. SHHH. Just ease those poops into the water. If a sister asks you to check if she has Mother Nature stains, you're checking her. Best friend, worst enemy, total stranger, she's bending over and you're checking for stains. Same goes for if her panties are showing. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.